One of the things we're going to cover are the basics, how to grow your list, because you have to have people on your list before you can make money from them, right? Okay. So don't be this guy. Do not be the person who puts a pop-up on your website the very instant somebody comes to your page, because you haven't given them a chance to learn about you, to trust you yet. Okay. You need to build authority and trust before you can ask for the order. The first baby step into sending you money is to build that trust. Okay, so we dislike pop-ups and feedlets. We dislike aggressive pop-ups like this guy. We prefer respectful pop-ups, and once you've given somebody a chance to learn, to read, to figure out they like you, so on the second or third or fourth screen of the interaction, then put a pop-up on, because pop-ups work, don't get me wrong. But give people time to learn to trust you. It's like somebody coming up to you at a cocktail party and the very first thing you do is, business card! Who the hell are you? I don't know. Why should I even take your business card? This is doing that. And if you go to your own website, if you go to other websites even, and they do something that you don't like, don't do it to your business either. Don't do unto others as you would have done to yourself. Alright. Baseline tips for all mailers, and these are general. Your mileage may and will vary. We have people on our system right now, open rates, I kid you not, in the 90% range. As an industry average, you should be looking at 20% open rate every single mailing, and it will be a different 20% every mail you send. So it's not the same fifth of people opening a mail. It'll be a different set. And I will make it available on SlideShare, by the way, folks, so you don't have to worry about snapping this from distance. Your open rate should be 20%. Unsubscribe rate will be less than 0.5%, typically speaking. Every time you mail, somebody will opt out. Don't take it personally. They just have something else to do. Your complaint rate, which is what we worry about at Feedlets, is the number of people hitting spam. Okay? That must be less than 0.1%. If you get to be more than that, you will receive a happy gram from us, or whoever your email service provider is, and you will have a very awkward conversation with our support function. Okay? If that metric gets too large, you have a problem. Now the good news is everybody here is doing proper dual opt-in email practices, right?
Right.
Yes.
Oh no. Right?
Right.
Excellent. This guy you can try. Good. All right. So, for various kinds of, when you're doing a regular mailing, either a newsletter or an automated mailing from your blog, from your feed, make sure you're catering to the different ways people consume content. Headlines for the scanners. We're predators, our eyes face the front, binocular vision. Have a photo in it that's compelling and interesting. Let the predators prey on your content. Let them eat outside. Okay? Lots of copy for the detail folks. Okay? And include other content. Every single email you send is a single one-page microsite. It lives, it's searchable in the inbox, it lives forever. So think about that. Don't just send your blog post, because you're active on other platforms, right? Send pins. Send your latest photos on Instagram, right? Make it a rich portal into all of your social media content, not just your website. All of those other platforms should, of course, be funneling people back to your website, because those platforms care about exactly your organization, that's themselves. So don't do digital share copy. Bring the traffic back to your site. But if you're investing in these other platforms, make sure your emails represent you on those other platforms. Because somebody's come to your website and is on your list, they don't know what great things you're finding on Pinterest. And Pinterest can be a source of leads and revenue and income. So do that. And sitting at the bottom here, hit by test. If you've been doing the same thing week in, week out for months or years, pick it up a notch. Mail at a different time of day. Change the subject lines. Change your layout. People respond well to change. It's engaging. All of a sudden they're paying attention to you because something is different. That will increase engagement. See how you do with that. Always be testing. All right, or always be monetizing. So, who here has media kits? Excellent. Right. Who of those of you folks with media kits, how many people have not got their email list on the media kit? was one. Okay. Make sure that your mailing list is on your media kit. Make sure that you know what you're going to charge people for sponsoring your mailings, because that is a source of income for you. Sell the names. I mean, don't sell the names.
Sell the access.
We'll take that as a post. You can sell that audience through sponsorship. And a sponsorship will always do better than email advertising because you're cutting out the middle guy. Right, so if you've got a baseline ad rate from an email service that supports ads, then you know what you can charge for your sponsorships, and it can be a single flat fee for mailing. You can even sell direct dedicated email blasts to your list for the right sponsor. Here's the tip I learned this week. If you have a direct email blast for your sponsor, I don't know, let's say Best Buy's doing the kitchen thing, right, for Type A conference. If you just send a blast which looks like Best Buy to your list, they will report it as spam. They will do very, very poorly. If you say, however, this is a sponsored mailing from Best Buy to my blog's list, and then you put exactly the same copy in, your engagement will go up. Because all of a sudden, your audience is feeling respected because they're being warned, and hey, I'm getting this because I'm special part of this blogging community. Not just, here's another spam blast from another store I need my credit card out last week. Okay? So, there's a lot of opportunity there. If you've got nothing else, if you have an ebook, which you can sell, make money from, use that as a house ad at the foot of your emails or in the sidebar. Every email you send could potentially sell a book, or your products, or link to whatever events you're doing next. Okay. Always make sure every email you send is driving your audience to something that will generate revenue for you. Finally, affiliate marketing. When you send your emails, particularly if you're using an automated mail system that will pull content from your feed and throw it into an email, make sure that your content includes the links. Because if you're using affiliate links in your blog copy, if your RSS feed or your email service is truncating the content, more often than not, that link will disappear, which means that the click is not going to make you money. Okay, make sure that the affiliate links come through in your email. And by the way, everybody here should be subscribing to your own email newsletter list, right? You should see what your subscribers are getting. Because if you don't like it, odds are they don't. And if you're surprised by something in there, odds are they are too. So make sure you're subscribing to your own mailing list. Okay, so those of you who know me quite well will know that I work with computers and I'm an introvert because people suck. People are scary. They're lazy. They want things now. We live in a short attention span theatre world of online culture. They are cheap. Why are you charging this much for that when I can get it over there for less? You're selfish. It's actually really all about me. If you can't make me happy, why should I bother? I've never met it. I'm terrible. I never met a deadline I didn't like. You know, April the 15th, maybe I should file my taxes. I'll extend. Okay. Yes, I know the date is. I've got a week left. And they're cynical. We are really, really cynical. I mean, the 24-hour news cycle, everything makes us cynical. We look at things go. And if you think about this, it's a little dispiriting. But there's another way to look at exactly the same attributes, and it looks like this. They suck. They're lazy, so what we provide is convenience. We can spin this and make it something that delivers value. Okay, so we're cynical. We need excitement. If they're cheap, give them a deal. Success. If they like deadlines, give them a damn deadline. And they want to trust. People want to believe. If you look at how many, the population that goes to churches and synagogues and mosques in this country, it's way out of line with anybody else. This country has faith and it wants to believe, and that is an opportunity. They want to belong. We want to belong to parts of communities. That's why this conference works when others aren't. So how you make money from your mailing list and from your site in general, because believe me, it's not just your mailing list. You deserve to make money because nobody should be working for free. This is how you meet these needs that people suck, because you know what? Every time you deliver one of these things, you're delivering value, and it is a money-making opportunity. You can charge to satisfy these needs. I have 3 examples. I'm talking way too quickly. I was asked to. I have 3 case studies to show you how you can deliver this and generate revenue from it, all driven by email. Before I carry on, any questions so far?
Do all people suck?
We all suck at times, yes. Present company included. All right. And I think most people here know Lisa Lehman, the jeweler from Studio Jewel. This was a sale that she ran. And I'm allowed to say her age because this was the point of her campaign. So the gentleman does not reveal a lady's age, but she made a big deal out of it. I'll talk about it.
Timing. That was beautiful.
Okay, so.
Yep.
She doesn't look 46, does she?
No.
Can I say that time? Okay. So, she mailed the list. It was an offer exclusive to the mailing list. You had to be on the mailing list to get the offer. And Lisa publicized it. You have to be on my list to get this offer. It was cute. 46% off because she's 46 years old. That's kind of nice. It's a little delight. It was offered on her birthday. You had to buy between 9 and 9:46 on the day. So this theme, okay, it was cute. You generated a week's worth of sales in 45 minutes flat. Just from the mailing list. Nothing on the website. Good job, Lisa. Thank you. Right? We should watch. Yes, let's give her a round of applause. Go on.
I'm on it at least twice.
It's better than applause.
All right, so why does this work? It worked because it was personal. You got this insight into Lisa's life. You know, she revealed her age, and it was cute. She'd already built trust with the mailing list in what she talks about in her blog. Right? It was a deal. You spoke directly to the people at cheap. It's a great deal. There was a deadline. And because everybody who was on Lisa's list, I think pretty much, has already bought from her, they're already familiar with her work. They knew they could trust what was about to be delivered. And it's 10 times cheaper to sell to an existing customer than it is to acquire a new one. So she had an audience that was ready to buy. So once you sell something from your site, whether it's your time, it's a digital product, it's a tangible item, keep those names, keep them happy, because they are gold, because they will buy from you again, or else you don't mess it up in the first place. It's gold. Okay. And what I want you to do as I go through these case studies is think about how might this apply to me. Because they won't all apply exactly, but you'll all have something you can tweak that will work this way for you. And I'm sorry for being so mobile, by the way. My little clicker doesn't work. We'll take that out of post too. Okay. I wrote a book 3 years ago. And the reason I'm putting it up here is not because I want to sell the book. It's a little dated, it doesn't need revising. But here is the point. Every single post, every single chapter in that book, bar one bonus chapter, had already been written on my blog. And in fact, that's how I wrote the book. I did a chapter a week. Too long didn't read, 1,500 to 3,500 words a post. And I wrote a book. Every single chapter was on my blog for free, is there now, for free. And anybody, if you want to read my book for free, you can go to my blog and find it. That, however, is work. People suck. They're lazy. They don't want to do the work. And more importantly, if I can do the work of collating those 45,000 words, slamming them into a PDF, and selling them to you, is that time that you might otherwise invest worth $15? Turns out, yes. But you know what I'm saying? Thank you.
Just
I'll
yell
tap
at
you.
me or something.
Oh, yeah, all right, then. So, convenience. Even if you've already done it on the blog, if you're evergreen content, you can take it, you can hire a VA for $15 an hour to collate it, put a pretty cover on it as a PDF. You can sell it, even though you've already done it for free on your blog, because the value is saving people time and having it in one place where they can consume it all, print it all in one go. There's immense value in that. $15 ASP, list price 25, $10 on the Kindle. That's me, it's my humble little trade book. I've sold 1,000. It's not a great deal of money, but it was nice. I was very happy those few months. Okay? Because it was effectively free money. So I'd done the work, I'd published it on my blog. So, think about it. What have you got on your blog that has a theme that you can tie together and turn into an ebook and sell? Don't be afraid of selling. You're not selling out. When you work for free, you are selling out. Don't work for free. Alright. The other thing is, and this I actually made a mess up, is okay, one of the things that you can also do is every time I sold a book, my follow-up was, great, thank you. If you like the book, become an affiliate. I pay 50% commission, sell 2 books, this book is free. Half of my sales came through affiliates. And I don't care paying 50% rev share on book sales that I would never have otherwise got. Right? You need to share enough to get the reach, multiple channels. Or through email. Thank you for buying, become an affiliate. Click here. Or through mail. Thank you. This is a case study using email in a very different way to make money. Many of you here, I know we're periscoping, okay? I'm working for free. Once you've started to build trust and authority, and you've got enough periscopes out there to say, yes, I can talk, I can string 3 words together and make sense, some of the time, okay? What you can start to do is sell premium webinars, or membership programs, where people pay to have the privilege of hearing and interacting with you directly. Okay, this is a way to make money, half an hour, 1 hour. So, how do we do this? I set this up with Deborah Harper, who was Girlfriendology. Back when Pinterest first blew up, she said, oh, I've got like 40,000 followers on Pinterest. And I went, what? Yeah, she said, last couple of weeks, 40,000. I said, you realize people will pay you to find out how you did that, right? Okay, so we tried it. We set it up on Eventbrite with tiered pricing. 5 for $5, 5 for $8, and so forth. We mailed her a list. Now, people who are cheap jumped at the $5 tickets, right? They sold out in the first half an hour. So we sent an email. I'm sorry, the first 5 tickets are gone. So, join now, $7.95, we've only got 5 of these. And all of a sudden, every time a tier is sold out, momentum built, excitement built. And because people want to be included, once we sent the 3rd or 4th mail, and there are 25 to 30 people, we had, oh, this is interesting, people are joining, they want to see, now it's important that I get in and be included in this event. I think we sold, what was it, 4-figure sum? Sold a lot. The average selling price was about $18, $19. Because the excitement and the momentum and the inclusion and the deadline, because you had this one chance to do it, worked very well. We did it all through email. So every email you send should be selling passively or actively. You can pitch a direct event like this, or you should have your paid content available to buy in the sidebar, in the footer, or in the header. Okay? You can sell this. Think about how to generate excitement. What will work for your community? And when you try it, maybe it'll work really, really well, and maybe it'll bomb. Maybe it will suck. And that's okay, because then you can go, that didn't work, why? And then you get to have another go. Because if only 3 people showed up to your previous webcast, you still got 3 people who will probably show up to the next one. And then if you're feeling a little embarrassed, hey, only 3 people know. Right? So you get to do it again and again. Here is a great one. Everybody can do. You have to have a little bit of work done to create digital products. Bundling. We have a client right now, and I'll talk about her in a second. I don't think she's coming up. No. Okay. Create bundling. So you want to create lots of small items. Sell them through PayPal or whatever you're using for e-commerce. And they can be $1.95, $2.95, doesn't matter. You just need to have the SKUs there. And you don't need to sell or expect to sell any of them. In fact, you really don't want to, it's kind of convenient. But what you want to sell is you can buy each of these for $2.95 and you have 10 of them. But you can get them all right now. $30 value, $7. It's a deal. It's $7 for all 10 of these. You get exactly 1 chance to buy it. And that's when you activate your subscription to the mailing list. Because the most visited and most useful page on your website is the one that happens when the subscriber goes, activate. Because they're excited, they've just joined, they love you because you haven't had a chance to disappoint them yet. Right? That's when you can ask for this order. The price has to be $7. And you have to have multiple individual SKUs, which you can sell if somebody just wants to buy the one. But create the bundle and sell the bundle. Now you can sell that bundle elsewhere on your site for $9.95 or $14.95 or whatever you want to do. But on this page, and this page only, it's $7. It works really well. When they bought it, you say thank you because we are well brought up. We can autoresponder. Changing it down, all right. So you say thank you, and then 2 days later you say, how's it going? A few days later, have you seen these other top recipes or tips that I've got on my website? And now you have a chain of trust from that sale, from that transaction, flowing into more site visits, potentially more products. Give them a coupon if your system supports coupons. And then at the end of that sequence, you say, thank you for being here. I'm going to throw you onto my main mailing list, and you mail them once a week from your blog. Okay? That keeps them in the fold, and if you tag them, when they buy from you, you know what they bought, or that they have bought. So when you next have a product or a new product to sell, the first people you sell it to are the people who've already bought it from you, and the way that you reach them is through last email. Okay, so know who's bought from you. Give them the deal up front. Give them the deal with a deadline, because we're not stupid, right? People love deadlines. Hey list, you've got 24 hours, or by midnight tomorrow, or whenever it is, to get my next book, webcast, membership program at this great rate. And you've got to be firm. Don't waver on the deadlines. Okay? Do it, hold fast, and then take a view with everybody else. You've got to give, and when they're on a list like that, they feel special. People feel included. You're getting a deal, it's exciting, and they're included because people sign. So this is important. When you're selling something, plan what you want to do with them next, because you have multiple products and you have a funnel. You have a sales funnel. If you bought A, what do I want them to buy next? How do you escalate them from one product to the next? From a single product to a bundle. From a bundle to a premium webcast or your book. Or your membership program if you're doing mastermind classes. Whatever it is that you're doing, have a plan for something to give them next, to sell them next, to persuade them next. And if you don't have something that you have yourself, say, I love these books, link to them on Amazon and use your affiliate link. You can make money with other people's products with an affiliate program. Show that you're actually not just a one-trick pony and that you trust other people. These are the people I trust with my stuff. You should have their books too. And here's an example from a competitive product of mine, which is a very complex campaign showing decision points. You come in for weekly beauty tips here, and then things happen. Depending on what you do, you end up down here, or you end up over there. And in this case, you start, in this particular system, you can put a form in that says, yes, I want to have a consultation. And so then you go onto the, okay, the sequence that says, okay, let's schedule a consultation, let's talk to somebody. And now you look further down the sales funnel, right? Because now you talk to a human being, and their job is to close the sale, which is to get you into that consultation, because then they want to sell you stuff. Always keep thinking about the funnel and what's next. And if you are one of my clients, we can tell you how to do this in our service. So, don't ask people to do something if they've already done it. If you do end up at Feelers and you download one of our white paper, it'll encourage you to start a trial. At that point in the program, I want you to start a trial with us. The instant you start a trial with us, I switch off that autoresponder. I don't ask you for a trial when that is what you've just done. That's dumb. It's annoying. Right? Don't do that. So don't ask for product X if they've already bought product X. Use tagging, custom fields, whatever your system supports to be able to track that. Because you'll make more money. Because if they've already bought X, now you want to sell Y. Apple, iTunes. You buy a single track, what do they do next? They offer you the opportunity to complete the album for a little less money, right? If you know there's a bundle out there, you have bought it for the one, right? So that's the offer. Finish the album. Just $7 or $6, whatever it is. You all ready? All right, so you can do this, and one of the things that I'm going to really encourage you to think about when you think about what am I going to sell? What are the things I am going to sell? Is it my time? Is it my audience through advertising or sponsorship? Right? Are they products? You've got to think about it. It's work. It is work. You have to be prepared to step up and do the work. Because if you don't do the work, you're wasting money here. And I don't think anybody here is going to be unfamiliar with work or wanting to do it, but you have to do the work. So you do have to think. This isn't a quick fix you can just switch on, apart from our advertising. It isn't a quick fix. You have to think. You have to do the work. Because you can do this. And I want you to encourage you to dare to try, even if you've got a blog and everything you have on it is free and published, you have no products, dare to pull your evergreen content together into an ebook and ask people for it, for money. You can try it for $4.95 or $3.95 or $2.95. That first sale, it's the best thing ever because you think, oh my goodness, somebody paid me money. That's, oh my goodness, somebody paid me money. And hold on. And then my demons kick in. Was that worth it? Oh God. Right? So, yes.
How much did we all spend on coffee this morning at Starbucks?
How much did we all spend on coffee this morning at Starbucks?
That $4.99?
That's a lot of value.
For 4 minutes, right?
No, I'm not below the time for that. So, dare to try because there is value. And if you establish yourself as a brand, you get to charge more because now you're special and brand value. If you become the authority on artisanal jewelry, your brand, you can charge more. Okay? If you become the authority on backyard farming and chicken raising, then then you have authority, you can come and speak and get this stuff for free at least. Okay, so think. Dare to try. The next one is do the work. Seth Godin. Do the work. You've got to do the work. So I have a gift for you actually. Before we go. Any other questions? I'm getting out of here early. It's just a question. Sarah. Is that a real question?
Yes, it is a real question. Okay. So what's your recommendation on, okay, I sent an email, certain people clicked it, certain people didn't, certain people opened, certain people didn't. What do you say about resending to those people who didn't open it or didn't click it?
There's actually about 3 questions in there. Okay, so every single time you mail, a different group of people will open it okay? And that's okay, you can expect that, okay? If you're sending a targeted email for an offer for a deal, you can, after a few days, say, hey, just want to remind you, I saw you didn't click open this, I've got a deal for you, okay? That's okay. Now, click-through rates. Anybody might have noticed on my chart at the very beginning, I did not talk about click-through rates. I can't give you any idea about click-through rates. Those click-through rates depend upon you. How good you are at your call to action, what your offer is, whether you're inviting people to click through at all. Right? If you're sending your entire blog post, your click-through rate will be negligible because everything is there, which is fine if you're not monetizing through advertising or if you're just building trust. So I would say do it at most 3 times. For an event, if you want to mail somebody about an event, send one more mail that you're comfortable sending. Do it at the last minute. Chris Brogan says about 40% of his attendees to his events sign up on the very last day of the sign-up period. Deadlines, right? People procrastinate. Oh, I should go to that. Shut. No, I should really, oh, the kids, school, work, fine, I don't know. There's lots of life gets in the way. On the deadline day, if you have a deadline, you should have a deadline, right? On the deadline day, send one last email. You have 12 hours left to whatever it is. So yes, send that last email. Now, LinkedIn just settled a class action suit for I think $15 million for sending too many emails. Right? So they sent unsolicited emails to people to join LinkedIn. Right? So always do dual opt-in. Only mail people who have dually opted into your list. And for heaven's sake, if they unsubscribe, unsubscribe them. It's not okay to email people after they've unsubscribed. It really is not. I'll yell at you. They'll yell at you, and all of a sudden your reputation is in the toilet and you're going to the spam category instead of the inbox. Okay. So do be aware of what you're doing. Do make sure that you're not overdoing. Be a little uncomfortable if you've got a great deal, but otherwise don't spam. Absolutely yes to dual opt-in, do nothing else. And I'm all of a sudden having a Rick Perry moment of conflict with everything I'm going to say. So, way in the back there.
So going on with that, with the emails, I am one of the people who suck and procrastinate. So my suggestion, because of knowing what I respond to with emails, send an email an hour before a webinar or an hour before a deal ends, saying you only have an hour left or only 45 minutes left, because those are the ones that I end up clicking on, because with 4 kids and school and everything else, those are the ones that I end up making my purchases for, are the ones that say you have 1 hour left. And most of the time is because I don't know time differences, so like what time will be one thing for me will not be the same for like somebody else, and I just can't compute that in my head. So I'm one of those I suck people and send it to me an hour before the deadline.
We're all I suck people here. It's okay. Hello, I suck at my nose, Phil. But proof basically that that last minute email is enough to get people to take the action you want them to take. The thing I was also going to say, Sarah, I now remember, is it goes by the rather grotty name of list hygiene. Right? But going through your list, people who haven't opened or clicked on an email in the last 6 months, right? Launch what's called a list hygiene campaign. Make sure you can say, I haven't heard from you in a while, do you still want to hear from us? Because a couple of things. First of all, if they're not opening your email, then why are you sending it to them? Second of all, if they're on your list, they're costing you money. So it's okay to purge now and again, but don't just throw them out without asking, saying, are you sure? I'd hate to see you go. Here's the deal if you stay. Give them reasons to stay. But once you've done that, it's okay to kick them to the curb. They can come back if they want to. On unsubscribing, one other thing is that if you mail daily, okay, and people feel overwhelmed, after they've unsubscribed, because you have to honor the unsubscribe, give them the opportunity to join your weekly list, your newsletter list, or the digest, or whatever it is you do, maybe by hand or maybe on an automated basis. Try to keep the subscriber by respecting why they're leaving. If you have multiple different topics on your site, lifestyle, homeschooling, recipes, backyard farming, I'm sorry, Sarah, I'm just picking on. Then offer themed lists so that every email you send is relevant to that particular user. Okay? You want to keep them in the fold because ultimately you want to send an email asking for them order for the value you're providing. You're asking them for money. Over here.
Just a quick tip on something that you mentioned earlier. If you are trying to get someone to subscribe to your list for an event, make sure that you mention on there that they are also subscribing for your newsletter list. Because if you don't and they come to your event and then you stick them into the newsletter list, your unsubscribe rate is going to go way up, and so is the spam complaints. And I just recently had a client who made this very large mistake, and we've been through crazy stuff with Infusionsoft to get him reinstated because he did not specify in the actual event. Somebody was signing up for like a week-long, online series of classes, and then at the end didn't realize they were giving permission to be emailed after the event, and so he was getting tons and tons of spam complaints.
Good, thank you. So that's a great point, and there are 2 points I'd like to add to this. When you do transfer someone to a content list after they've bought from you from a transactional-based sequence, that last email should be, thanks for hanging in there, we're now adding you to our mailing list, click here to unsubscribe. You should tell them what you're going to do, because that way there are no surprises. The other thing is to really goose your subscription rate, and I neglected to mention this earlier, you should have at least 3 subscription forms on every page. Above the fold, in your sidebar, between the post and the comments, because if somebody's worked all the way down to the bottom of the post and is looking at the comments, they are committed to your content, they like what they're reading, or they may hate what they're reading. They're engaged nevertheless. It's a great time to ask for the order. And a pop-up, respectfully done. The other thing is on mailings that you send, because my business is largely automated, if it moves automated, Felix is team auto, right? We pull from sites and feeds and we spit those emails out. But if you do a direct blast with us, a traditional newsletter, it runs through our content filters. If we would not accept an email from you, if we're coming the other direction, we will not send it. And I will tell you this, the things that we look for, the thing that is a big flag on the user hostile play is an exit pop-up. Those things that when you close the window, bing, all of a sudden stop you. Now, don't do that. For all that it's known, please don't do that. That really does. So, if somebody wants to leave, do not bar the door. You're doing yourself no favors in stopping them saying, no, really stay, I'm nice. No. I'm nice as I bar your way from leaving my website. Trust me, no, it reeks spammer and hacker, but don't do that. Okay, I've had the 5-minute warning. One more question.
5 minutes, okay. So if you have a newsletter that's based on RSS feed or putting out that digest, would you recommend setting up a second newsletter to send out something individual, personal, and original, or kind of staggering it in between or in addition to? So.
You've hit a pet peeve, your check is in the mail. So, the answer to the question is, I know many people have their automated blog subscriptions and they do a manual newsletter because the newsletter is personal, right? If it's good enough to mail, it's good enough to blog. If it's good enough to mail, it is good enough for Google to index and get keywords and feature an AdSense on. It's good enough. And if it's good enough to blog, it's good enough to mail. So from our perspective, my perspective is, if you're writing a personal newsletter to tell your story, why are you not doing that online? Where there is a lot of value and monetization and keyword goodness and SEO things that you can do with that. So yes, I mean, we support people who do that directly, the interview. If you've got a weekly date, if you've got a cadence which is weekly, don't break that, because then people will be upset because you're breaking their expectations. So I would say yes, make your blog your online newsletter and just cherry pick which posts you mail out, perhaps. If it's bloggable, it's mailable, it's mailable, it's bloggable. That's our mantra, you don't have to work that way. But no, from my perspective, why do the work twice? We're talking questions. It's a poor technique, better than over here now.
I was going to ask you about
Hi, I just want to ask about conversion rates and what you expect, what people should expect. You know, if I've heard between 1 and 3% is like sort of standard conversion rate.
I don't know. I don't. And the reason why I don't is because the conversion rate depends on the offer and how good you are writing copy and how much A/B testing you've done on the landing page. I really, you should, whatever your rate is, you should aim to improve it. And if you're getting a conversion rate of 5 to 10%, you should write a book. I think it's probably anything I really don't know, I can't tell you. It's like click-through rates on email. You have a call to action, how good is it? Can I read it? Does it work well on mobile? You know, is your incentive good enough to get people to join the list in the first place? Okay, I'm going to wrap it up here. So before you all go, though, I have a gift for you. I did say that earlier, 15 minutes ago, and I'm going to fulfill that. So, one of the things that happens at these kinds of events is that you're deluged with information, right? Your brains start to fill up and then they start to leak. So I have a tip, first of all. That tip is this. Choose to do one thing today, just one thing, from any of the sessions you attend. Start to do that one thing. Here's the tip. Finish that one thing. A teacher of mine in high school said, here's the tip for doing well at exams. Read the question. Answer the question. Oh, right. So, do one thing. Start it. Finish it. Reward yourself having finished it, because we're all out here getting brain overload and deluge and coffee, and we're all up early and jet lag, and it's very busy and it's exciting. So, would you all please stand up?